Thursday on an all-new Dr. Phil. She's a married woman.
You said you're going to the grocery store when in fact you're going to meet a man and have a session.
With a cuddling business.
You don't care whether your husband likes this or he doesn't.
I'm a grown woman and I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
You have a dating site and you are one of the daters, true?
I'm not a dater, I'm a cuddler, like I said. I am not romantically interested in the other person.
You go to dinner, that's a date.
I don't appreciate your innuendos.
I don't have to do innuendo. Trust me, if I think you're doing something, I'll flat out tell you. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Yesterday, we met Paul and his wife, Alaska, a successful realtor. Now, Paul says last year his wife came to him with an idea to start an innocent cuddle website that she said would help bring relief to people coping with PTSD, depression, and anxiety. Now, he says at first he thought this was a great idea, but he claims things went downhill when his wife, Alaska, started using racy photos of herself to market the site. But that's not all. Paul says he also discovered that Alaska had a secret profile on the site and that men were offering her thousands and thousands of dollars for more than just a cuddle. Here's what happened yesterday.
I started a cuddling business with my husband last year.
I will cuddle you there.
This doesn't look like a cuddler.
No, and this is the problem I had. These photos destroyed me. My wife posts X-rated soft porn pictures. They are utter filth. It's pornographic.
You found inappropriate messages from men responding to these provocative pictures. What were they saying?
I want to take you to dinner. Can we have sex?
And they sent naked pictures of themselves.
Naked pictures, men sending there. What can you do?
Like cuddle this. So, do you think she's cuddling?
I hope not.
She tells you she is or isn't?
She tells me she isn't.
I've been cuddling since the beginning of this whole thing. I don't see the problem with it, and I'm never gonna stop.
You break trust. That's not good for me. I trusted that lady. She told me she didn't do the cuddling.
I am not doing anything wrong. I was gonna tell you.
If there's nothing wrong with it, why lie to him about
I
it?
never said I don't do the cuddling.
That's not true. Alaska says she has one profile on this dating site to help manage it.
I have multiple profiles on the site. I've booked myself at least 8 sessions, and I had to sneak off to do it. Sometimes I claim I'm just going to the grocery store and I'm out doing a cuddle.
So you are meeting up with men and having sessions.
I'm only cuddling, so.
But you are going to dinner with people, right?
I have been, or you can call it their cuddle time.
You can call it a beach ball, but it's a date. You use your picture as the face of the site, right? So you're the magnet. Some of these are so racy, FCC wouldn't let us show them.
Well, I'm probably showing a lot less, in my own personal opinion, than Lady Gaga. I've seen her butt.
You're selling sex.
I'm not gonna date anyone.
You said that they offered you $10,000 to go to dinner.
No, I did say that, but it's not just dinner.
And I'm thinking, if it's just dinner,
It
you
was
must
all
be
day.
really hungry.
Honestly, anyone paying $10,000 is not just thinking of dinner.
I'm not some idiot going out there and just going, woo! Yeah, I can't.
Well, basically what you know about these people is that they have a computer.
And they have money. And they want to cuddle.
That's
From
what
me.
that's what you know about them. And what you know is you've shown them very provocative pictures. They have a computer and money. That's what you know about them.
Yep, just like any McDonald's knows about anyone who pulls up in the window and wants to give them $5 for the food. It's a service. Just because I am providing a service where I come over, that, you know, pizza delivery,
Well,
order a cuddle.
okay. Like, here's a promo
My cuddle's
clip.
healthier than the pizza
I'm
you're
just
gonna
going to play
order.
this without sound, but here's a promo clip, and you're going to have to tell me how this parallels McDonald's.
People like to be entertained. I'm just entertaining them. People
Okay,
like to laugh.
so
People-
somebody with computer and money is watching this and then calling you, and this is all aimed at a certain demo, right?
Demographic, you mean? Just like a certain type of people that want to cuddle? I cuddle women too. It's not just men. And they're
I'm not
they're-
suggesting you
okay.
don't, but you say you're concerned, and you think this is very sexually charged, right?
I just think any man looking at that
Well, yeah.
is going to think one thing, and it isn't McDonald's.
I think
No.
that I'm. Any artist out there that's female is showing just as much as I am in that video. That's all
Well,
I'm going to
this
say.
is-
And everybody thinks they're so great and so wonderful. How am I doing anything wrong?
Well, you agree it's sexually provocative.
Yeah, it's sexy. That's
Okay.
the idea.
All right, and if you're trying to change their oxytocin levels, if
You
you're,
certainly succeeded there.
Cortisone
yeah.
levels and yeah.
then what's that got to do with this?
Your vagus nerve is connected to your eyeballs too. Your eyeballs see something it likes.
What
It's
nerve?
the same thing. To me, it makes sense. Something to you that makes sense may not make sense to me. Something that makes sense to anyone here may not make sense to anybody
Well, you're
next to you or
concerned
around
about
you.
her safety, and let me tell you, the people that deal in sexually charged
Situation.
environment, the workplace, the homicide rate for people working in the sex industry, sexually charged jobs, workplace homicide rate is 51 times higher than non-sexually charged environment. 51 times higher likelihood that you're going to get murdered. Overall mortality rate is 240 times higher. There's 75% attempt suicide. 4.5 times more likely to attempt suicide, and 70 to 95% are physically assaulted at some time during work. 60 to 75% are raped.
You need to
None of
listen
that
to
pertains
that.
to me except for my safety. If I
Of
go
course
somewhere.
it does.
Anyone who goes on a date, you're going on a date with somebody you don't know. They've got a computer. They've got your profile. You meet them out. They could do anything to you.
Isn't it true that you're telling him that you're going on trips for
went on
one
3
reason when in
trips.
fact you're going to meet a man somewhere?
When I go to Virginia, I am with my family. If I don't answer
Okay.
the phone, that's because I'm with my family. They're a lot of fun. They miss me, and we're having a
Isn't
good time.
it true that you have said you're going on trips for one reason when you're actually going to meet a man?
Or a woman. True.
So you've lied to him and said, I'm going out of town for A, when in fact
I
you were
have
doing
gone
B.
out of town with an appointment to do an interview and did a cuddle while I was there, and I've done it without having an interview. Yes, and I did cuddles.
So
Yeah, what about your
the bottom
appointment?
line is she's lied to you about going out of town. She's going out of town to meet someone and piggybacked it on something else or not, just lied to you about it. Isn't it true that you've said you're going to the grocery store because you're known to have an obsession with grocery shopping? And so you've used that to say, okay, I'm going to spend a few hours at the grocery store, when in fact you were going to meet a man and have a session.
Isn't it true that I am out there making money for my family? Yes, it is, Alaska. Isn't it true that I'm out there, a woman, I don't have to work. I'd rather work. I'm not lazy. I'm out there doing some business. I'm a businesswoman. I like being a businesswoman. Just because of the way I do it, people don't approve of it. There's nothing I can do about the way anyone else, anywhere, present company, feel about what I'm doing. Everybody wants to think it's seedy. You think what you want to think about anything and everything.
Next, Paul says Alaska's only focus is taking photos and making videos. He says she's even turned their spare room into her own studio, where he says she spends 90% of her time. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Alaska, she's turned one of our bedrooms into her own personal studio. This is another room that I just try not to go inside of. To sum it all up, I honestly think Alaska has turned into a fame whore.
And later,
Nobody's going to be calling me names.
who has called you a name? Look at me. You don't put words in my mouth. I'm not afraid of you. I'll flat out tell you.
Yes, I'm a bit obsessed with social media, but it's not for my own ego. It's purely because I want to see how many customers are interested in my pictures and going straight to the site. Every single day, once my son leaves for school, I'm all over it. I'm doing my hair and makeup. It takes me 2 hours to get dressed, and I'm shooting for probably about 4 hours. Date all you want. I generally get about 400 likes on my pictures and about 15,000 on my videos. When I see the 15,000, I feel good, but it makes me wish I had 30,000.
I will cuddle you there.
Well, Alaska says she's done lying to her husband and revealed earlier that she not only runs her online website, she works for it, meeting men for money, traveling out of state, sneaking around, leaving Paul with their son. Paul says he had a feeling Alaska was up to something when she started spending more time in their spare room, taking pictures, just being really absorbed by this and really going provocative as the face of the website. Take a look.
She's turned one of our bedrooms into her own personal studio. This is another room that I just try not to go inside of because it basically pisses me off. With Alaska being the face of the website, all she does is constantly post pictures of herself.
Sometimes I take pictures in this bathtub because the light in here is really good.
She even did 2 mini commercials to enhance the website. And the nature of the videos were nothing short of come and get it. My wife spends 80 to 90% of our day in that room. To sum it all up, I honestly think Alaska has turned into a fame whore.
I don't,
Okay.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to be famous. I'm trying to advertise my brand. That's it. This is what I do. I am professional. No one's ever going to make me do anything I don't want to do. I'm never going to ever do anything outside of a physical connection with my husband. No one else is going to get what me and my husband share. I would never do that to you. I wouldn't want you to do that to me. But I'm working. I'm a woman with my own business. I'm making my own money. I don't see any problem with making money, bringing it home, making our lives better. I don't see any problem with that. That's it. I don't want to pay models every single time I want to do a shoot. And I post every single day. How the hell am I going to be able to? I don't want to do that. I'm not going to shell out $150 per model every single day for as many hours as it takes to do these photos. People click on those photos, and then they click and see what's going on with the website. I track everything. It's working.
You said you don't care whether he likes this or whether he doesn't.
I don't care, like, it's not like I don't care how he feels, like he can go and stick it. I don't care, like, it's not bothering me how he feels.
Well, that pretty much qualifies for I don't care.
I don't care. I don't mean it like I don't want to hurt my husband. But I'm not going to live my one and only life feeling a void or feeling like I'm not doing what I want to do or feeling, I'm not going to not do what I want to do.
Okay, have I ever made you feel like that, ever?
When you're telling, okay, in the beginning, when I was going to do this cuddle service, I wanted to do cuddle parties initially, right? And he said, yeah, sure, great. Then I'm the host, but you're not cuddling. That's crazy. I can't partake in something. That doesn't make any sense. So people are going to come over. They're going to all be huddled up and cuddling, but I'm not able to partake. That's ridiculous.
Why go sexual? Why go all the sexual provocative?
For clicks. People click on stuff that looks sexy.
When I saw your site, I just was like, oh no, another one. But I was like, oh God, I wish you used another word.
And later,
You're supposed to be helping, not making me angry. I'm telling everybody. That's what I'm doing.
why will you not talk to me?
Because I'm mad at you and I don't really want to look at you.
Well, also joining me today is founder and professional cuddler, Jean Franzblau from the Cuddle Sanctuary. Jean, you are in this industry, right?
Yes, I am.
How long?
I've been doing this work for 3 years.
Uh-huh. And you are located in what part of the country?
In Los Angeles, right here.
In LA?
Yeah.
I've been to your site, and I've looked at the pictures, I've looked at pricing, I've looked at guidelines. It doesn't look sexually provocative at all. Why not?
We work really hard to make sure that the clients aren't confused by this service. So we have meticulous guidelines of what we wear, behavior, conversation, because we're trying so hard to distinguish ourselves from services where a client might be confused by that it might have sexual content. And we're trying so hard to make sure the clients understand that it's platonic so that they understand the service we're offering. Mm-hmm. And also so they won't be disappointed, and so that our staff stays safe.
Right.
Yeah.
So you intentionally, purposely don't put up sexually provocative pictures.
Yes, we're really careful, very mindful not to.
Because you put up pictures with wardrobe much like you're wearing right now.
That's right. I'm trying very hard to make it a clear distinction. What's a sexual service and what are we doing, which is a platonic service. Because
it's like a lot of industries, like massage. There are massage parlors where you can go and get a massage. And then there are massage therapists who are trained in the anatomy. They've been certified as massage therapists. They work with physical therapists. They work with orthopedic surgeons. They do rehabilitation after injuries. They're very legitimate folks. And then there are people that do happy endings. And they're very, very different.
I don't like how the happy ending was on my side.
It took years.
They're very, very different, and it's important to distinguish between the two.
And it took years for the massage therapy community to create those distinctions.
Right.
We're at the very beginning of a new industry. It's an emerging field. It's that muddy area in terms of the marketing that can also create some dangerous situations, possibly for the other folks who are on your site who don't have your great boundaries. That's what I'm really worried about.
Well, here's Alaska's site, and there are no rules. Cuddlers set their own rules, their own boundaries. And then here's the Cuddle Sanctuary. It's platonic, non-sexual touches. Clients sign an agreement. Services are platonic. Cuddlers and clients remain fully closed. Markets non-sexual, platonic nature of services. Sexual request. Arousal met with firm boundary setting, collect relevant information about clients, social security number, driver's license, cell phone number, no substance abuse during sessions, waivers, liability insurance, all of that. That's on your site. Her site is no rules, cuddlers set their own boundaries.
She has a service, though.
Is this a good thing?
It's working in terms of how many clicks are you getting, yes? And yet it's concerning for me. Of course, I agonized over that code of ethics. What can happen, we get a lot of calls from clients who are coming to your site too. They're just calling and trying and looking. We spend so much time vetting those clients away or educating them about what can touch be like that's platonic and non-sexual without any promise of titillation.
Is what she's doing and what she's advertising good for your industry?
When I saw your site, I just was like, oh no, another one. Because we're trying so hard to define this word cuddle and sort of claim it as platonic and non-sexy. And yet so many people use the word cuddle to mean before or after their sexy time. So it makes sense that you would use that word. But I was like, oh God, I wish you used another word. I wish you used another word.
So
Makes me think I need to rebrand.
She's not helping you.
It's not helping.
Everything that she's saying and everything that her list of rules is on the first site that I had. Now, remember, I had a first service just like her, and it is difficult to teach people and for them to understand. Yeah. So instead of battering it, what I did was I turned it into more of entertainment, learning, entertainment, and They're also.
Well, I think she'd rather you drop the word cuddle and just be a dating site if that's what you're going to do.
But-
Paul says his biggest fear is their 8-year-old son will find his mother's explicit photos and videos online. But Alaska says she keeps him far away from her business. My thoughts on exactly what they should do next. We seem to have a problem.
Yeah, we do.
I am not having sex.
I want to believe you. The provocative side of it. It's just got to end.
And I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
Closed captioning provided by. Well, I'm here with Paul in Alaska, and we seem to have a problem, right?
Yeah, we do.
Are you okay with what she's doing?
No, the biggest one for me is the dishonesty. There was no need for that. If it is a genuine service, why you got to be dishonest?
Yeah, well, but she was.
Very much so.
And she's gone out of town to meet men or women, and a legitimate site is charging $60 to $120. She's saying she starts at $600.
Personally, that's just me by myself. It's not a service, it's a site.
Well, that's all he's concerned about is you yourself.
Well,
He doesn't
I'm
give a
telling
damn.
you in front of the entire world, this whole room and everybody, I am not having sex with anyone ever. I never, ever would. As she stated, she's a professional. She's listening to what I'm saying. She's telling you that it sounds like that's what I'm providing, a good service. I'm not just providing a service. I also teach people other exercises they can do when they're without a cuddler there to be with them, to make their mood lighten, to help them reduce their stress, and to feel better and be socially healthy as well.
Okay, I want to believe you, and I really do. All right? But I just don't want her, the provocative side of it. It's just got to end. The videos. If you advertise into cuddle people and give them comfort, advertise that. Or as Dr. Phil said, turn it into a dating site. Completely different.
It is a dating site now.
And you're
it was
dating.
a service, now it's a dating site.
And you're dating.
I'm still providing a service. You can choose what you do. I choose to cuddle. I don't choose to go out on dates with people.
You go to dinner.
If they want to have dinner in their time that they're paying for, fine.
That's a date.
I am not romantically interested in the other person.
Neither is a hooker, but she's still. That doesn't mean that you're not going on a date. The fact that you're not romantically.
I'm not a hooker.
That's
I don't
not
give
the
a damn.
point.
I
The
ain't
reason
no
that
hooker. Nobody's gonna call me a hooker. I'm no hooker. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a cuddler. Period. She don't like it. You don't like it. He don't like it. Fine.
The fact that you're not romantically interested in the person you're having dinner with doesn't mean it's not a date.
I'm a grown woman, and I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Everybody up in here, I'm a grown woman. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I'm doing cuddles. Nobody's going to call me names when I'm not doing that. And nobody wants to have people say and pick and seed around what they're doing. You think it's seedy? Fine. That's you. I don't care. That's not what I do.
I don't think he called you a hooker. He
Good.
made a comparison.
No, I did not call you a hooker. I have no idea whether you're having sex or not.
I don't appreciate that neither. It's my business. That's how I want to run it. Everybody runs their business the way they want to. That's how I want to run my business. It's a cuddle site that's a dating site. Everybody wanted to date the cuddlers. So instead of me fighting the world because I cannot control what everybody else wants to do, I switched it over so that people who want to cuddle and people who want to date and people who want to get cuddles can come together as one.
Just
like Facebook. Everybody's social on there. They do what they do.
What you are doing. You say you have a dating site, and you are one of the daters. True?
I'm not a dater. I'm a cuddler, like I said.
I have no reason to believe that she's having sex with anyone.
It don't sound like it. It sounds like you're trying to make it seem like I'm doing way more just because I took some pictures.
Closed captioning provided by.
I'm a cuddler. That's it. I'm professional. Y'all ain't about to tear me down. That's not what I do.
Is
period.
dinner cuddling?
If that's what you want to do with
I'm
your time.
asking you a question.
If I go to the store and buy something, I buy an outfit and I cut it up and make it into a new outfit, it's not a dress anymore, it's a shirt now. I can do whatever I want to do with what I've paid for.
Is dinner cuddling?
That's what they want to do with their time. It's a socially healthy thing to have dinner with somebody who's lonely. If somebody's wife dies and they're alone all the time, and they want me in particular to spend time with them and eat dinner,
Then
that's what I'm going to do.
the question you have to answer.
One thing, Dr. Phil, one thing. You see how difficult my life is?
I don't.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have no reason whatsoever to believe that she's having sex with anyone.
Don't sound like it.
What'd you say?
It don't sound like it. It sounds like you're trying to make it seem like I'm doing way more just because I took some pictures. Look at Instagram. I don't look and go, oh, she's a hooker, she's a hooker, she's a hooker, because she's showing her butt and her boobs are out. They're not hookers. They're sexy. If I'm going to be ridiculed for being sexy or being attractive and choosing to market something the way I choose to do it, sorry, I'm sorry you don't like it.
You don't know whether I like it or whether I
that I'm
don't.
not.
You don't know whether I like it or whether I don't. Your husband is the one that has to decide whether he likes it or whether he doesn't.
Paul, listen, if you have a problem with it, for real though, we'll have to work it out. I'm willing to maybe hire more models to do it. I like doing it. I'm sexy. It gives me a reason to get up and work out. But nobody's going to be calling me names.
He didn't
Who's
Comparing
called?
me to stuff. I can seem not stupid.
Who
I'm a
is
woman
called-
and I'm
wait a
black. I know what it's like when I'm out.
You're
on a
setting
witch
up a
hunt.
paper tiger here. Who has called you a name?
Nobody.
I'm a woman and I'm also a black woman, and I know what a witch hunt is. Thank
Who
you.
has called you a name?
When you're saying stuff, you're leading and your hands are going this way towards me.
Who has called you a name? Are you saying I've called you a name?
Your innuendos and you're insinuating that I'm doing more, and I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. You're supposed to be helping, not making me angry.
No. Well, look at me. Look at me. You don't put words in my mouth, and I'm telling you, if I
I
think
never said you called me that. I said you're doing innuendos
Okay,
and making it seem
well,
like it.
I don't have to do innuendo. Trust me. If I think you're doing something, I'm not afraid of you. I'll flat out tell you. Okay? You somehow or another. You somehow or another do not want to own the fact that you are sexually provocatively
I am sexually provocative.
marketing
I own
a
it,
site.
and that's how I market it, and I
Who
claim
are
it
you,
and own
who
it.
are you
Yes.
talking to?
Everybody in this room. There's all these people looking at me. I'm not scared. I'm telling everybody. That's what I'm doing. I'm
Why
telling
will you not
my
talk to
husband,
me?
Because I'm mad at you, and I don't really want to look at you.
I don't know what your wife is doing when she's meeting men out of state. She's saying she's a rent-a-friend. Deception is not good in a marriage.
No.
Well, let me tell you what I think, because we're done here.
Yeah.
We're out of time. I don't know what your wife is doing when she's meeting men out of state and she's telling you she's going to the grocery store and she's meeting people behind your back. Deception is not good in a marriage.
No.
Do I think she's hooking? I have no reason to believe that she's hooking. Do I think she's lying to you? She's admitted she's lying to you. Is she marketing things sexually and then not showing up that way, showing up dressed another way? That's bait and switch. And is she saying that's what she's doing? Okay. She says she's doing it for clicks. What you have to decide is if you are okay with your wife going to dinner with other men and getting paid to do that. She's saying she's a rent-a-friend, and it's like a sober living buddy for alcoholics, that they have people they pay to be with those people to keep them sober. And she's saying people are lonely and they're willing to pay me to companion them, to fight the loneliness off, and I don't do anything inappropriate during that time. If you're okay with that and she is willing to be transparent about that, then maybe you're okay with that. If she doesn't lie about that, if she tells you where she's going and you can walk in at any time and find her conducting herself in a professional way, then maybe you can be okay with it.
I would be okay.
If she's being a companion to someone that, I mean, there are services in the psychological industry where they really do have people that for so much an hour will like help a former addict or help an autistic person or help someone that doesn't have social skills, they will have someone that will companion them and help them transition into the world and teach them social skills, help them fight their anxiety, help them overcome those things. And if she says that's what she's doing and she's transparent about it, then you would be okay with that.
Completely.
But you don't have to be deceptive about it, right? You can be transparent about it. There is a legitimate role to be played, like for people that have a difficult time in life. And you can do that without all the sexual provocativeness. And if she says, I'm doing that to get people's attention and clicks, and then they find out what's really there, maybe the compromise is you get somebody else to do that part of it, and then you do the other part of it. There are ways to work this out, but I don't care what he thinks. He can just go pound sand is not a way that you two are going to get to a place of being peaceful.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
I'm willing to do things like you're saying, as long as, you know, I'm not 100% restricted from being an adult to make my own decisions.
You don't
But I
have
care
to be.
about how he feels.
But in marriage, you need to be transparent. If you have nothing to hide, I mean, people that have nothing to hide, hide nothing. So you can be completely transparent and do what you're doing. And you may be really good at it. But there's nothing to hide. If there's nothing to hide, then don't hide it. Be transparent about it. And-
Every single message I get, and he can read everything. There's nothing hidden. He has my phone.
But if you say, I've
on the
got a guy
computer.
that's like got social anxiety and I'm going to cuddle with him and we're going to walk through the zoo where he can fight his agoraphobia by having somebody at his side, and you can tell him and he can show up there and walk 30 feet behind you and see this is all appropriate, then you have no problem. I'm solution guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to tell you how you can have what you want and give him what he needs at the same time.
That's what I want.
It's just security, just to know that the person who you love is looking at you and
I
telling you
love
the
you.
truth.
I'm not lying to you anymore. I'm not going to do anything behind your back. If you're going to let me go out and cuddle, or if you don't want me to travel and cuddle, if you're worried about my safety, then we'll work something out like that.
And I'll tell you, I'm willing to get you guys a professional, a therapist that will come in and broker an agreement between you two and come up with a plan that you can both be excited about.
I would love that.
So would I.
And listen, I'm an incurable optimist. I believe anything can be worked out.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to be open and honest about it, then both of you can get not everything you want, but you can get most of what you want and get back to being a couple and being happy with your son and having what you want. Mm-hmm. You willing to do that?
100%.
100%.
All right. I know when to shut up. Coming up, a multi-million-dollar real estate developer, wife and mother of 5, says she has success in every way but one. Find out what she needs help with after the break. Closed captioning provided by... My next guest, Randy, is a woman in power. She's not only a real estate investor, but she's also a construction developer of high-rise apartment buildings. Now, Randy says being married, having 5 children, and running her company consumes all of her energy. And while she says she loves her life, she feels it's all starting to take a toll on her.
We were looking for the win-win. I have been developing real estate for 30 years. I'm the chairwoman of Fifield Realty Corporation. I've been married for 25 years. I feel so lucky to have my husband as a business partner. We develop properties in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Dallas. For me, real estate is 365, 24/7. It's the way I roll. My job has me on the go, making calls. That's a great idea. Following up on things, looking at budgets, overseeing interior design. It's a long day. I am always the last person on my priority list. The Chicago weather is hard on my skin. My main concern are the lines, the sagginess of my skin around my jawline, discoloration of my skin tone. I am uncertain what to do when it comes to my skincare routine because I am always looking for those little secrets that keep my skin young and fresh. On the inside, I feel 35 years old, but when I look in the mirror, I know that some things are just out of your control.
Well, joining me are Randy, and on behalf of number 7, dermatologist Dr. Sonia Batra. Welcome. Glad you guys are here. You know, Randy, running your company in 3 cities around the country sounds extremely demanding. Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed by the amount of work and travel that's just really getting up on you?
Most of the time I feel like a marathon runner. It can be really overwhelming because a lot of things are out of my control.
You know, one of the biggest stressors that we have is when we're facing things we don't have any control over, and it expresses ourselves through our bodies. And it can really show from the inside out. And when it goes year to year to year, it gets chronic, and it can affect you with your endocrine system, corticosteroids, and it can show up in heart disease, high blood pressure, your blood vessels. It can suppress your immune system. I mean, all of these things, and it starts to show on your body. And you mentioned concerns about your skin aging you. What do you think has been a contributing factor?
The sun is a contributing factor for sure. I can see the dark spots that are rising where there used to be none. And being on the plane, I get dehydrated. And then, of course, I don't sleep very well. So all of these things are a factor with wrinkles and my skin being less firm.
Dr. Butler, as a dermatologist, do you find traveling and lack of sleep contributes to all of this?
Absolutely. So with all of the time you spend on planes, that dry air can certainly dry out your skin and cause wrinkles. And it can also cause the skin texture on your face and neck to appear more prominent. As for lack of sleep, that's when collagen is produced. When you lose that sleep, you lose that vital repair process, which can make your skin look so much less firm. So what's your current skincare routine, Randy?
So I wash my face in the morning, I put on a moisturizer, a little foundation, and I'm out the door.
Well, actually, the moisturizing is critical, especially with the amount you travel, but I would also suggest adding a serum. A serum is made up of small molecules that can penetrate the skin more deeply and therefore deliver more concentrated, a very high concentration of actives such as nutrients and anti-aging ingredients. One serum I really love is number 7's Restore and Renew Face and Neck Serum. The reason I like this serum is because it delivers 5 clinically proven benefits. For the face, it reduces wrinkles, firms the skin, and evens skin tone. For the neck, it firms and reduces crepiness. And Randy, let me show you some before and after pictures. So you can see on the graphic, you can see the serum actually on the face reduces pigmentation. And then you can also see some dramatic improvement in neck crepiness over time.
So how much serum would she use?
Well, she just actually only needs a small amount in the morning and at night before you moisturize. And Randy, you should actually see results on your face and neck. You should look younger in about a week.
Well, that sounds amazing. And while my husband is my business partner, I am the face of my company. So it's really important for me to look and feel my best.
Since you and your husband are partners, has working together been tough on you guys?
Being a partner is actually a benefit because we get to travel quite a bit together, although he still feels like I work way too much.
I always tell people every choice comes with a price. You know, if you choose to focus on work, then, you know, family life can suffer. If you choose to focus on family life, then, you know, your work can languish. So it's hard to find that balance, but you just have to work at it until you say, okay, neither one of them is suffering too much, and both of them are getting enough attention.
Randy, since you are the face of your company, I think number 7's Restore and Renew Face and Neck Serum will really address your skincare concerns. And the best part, it's available at your local Target for less than $35. But number 7 wants to get you started, so they're giving you a year's supply.
My God. It's amazing. Thank you so very much.
All right. And audience number 7, didn't forget you, because everyone in the audience is going home with your own number 7 serum. All right. I'd like to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Sonia Batra. And for you at home, if you have an issue or a problem in your life and you'd like my help, then I want to hear from you. Just go to drphil.com. Send me an email, and you can also see what we're working on for upcoming shows. And if you'd like to join us here in the studio audience, we would love to have you here. The tickets are free. Get all the information right on the website, or you can call me at 323-461-5600. Phil. That's 323-461-7445. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Check us out on Facebook as well. We'll see you next time. Thanks.